I'm trying to think how I want to arrange the thing now. So we have the main panel, and I think I want like a controls region on the side. Yeah. Okay. There's going to be a controls region on the side. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have window width. We're going to say view area width is window width times 0.75, 0.8, I don't know. Okay, so we've got this. And then control area. So firstly, we're gonna scissor. Oh, interestingly, okay, we're gonna push scissor on the UI. Okay, so we're going to push that. We're going to pop it later. All this simp stuff can be view area width times 0.5, right? Okay. Okay, so now oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's say draw view area. Pop scissor rect. Okay, and draw view area is going to just be this stuff. And then we're going to swap buffers. We're going to draw the control area. See, there are times when it is totally natural to factor your program into subfunctions. Let's say we'll just leave that at global right now. No, let's pass it. Draw view area width. Let's just say 0. Okay, so that's the draw the view area. Drawing the control area is just going to be, let's just pick a color for it right now. What color? Like a dark red. All right. And then okay, we need a quad. We're going to do a rect. Okay, and then we're going to say, we're going to get that, and we're going to go simp immediate quad. Like that. And then, yeah, okay, so this thing, set shader for color, should be in here and in here. I don't know if we need to flash or not, but we will. Window height. Oh, that doesn't take an argument. Let's call it view area width, actually. Okay. Time. Text X. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Right, so now we've got a bunch of stuff. So that's S32, that's S32. We don't have a why not. Why not? Okay, now we don't have a quad function. Wait, vector 2. Okay. let's put it in order. Okay. Okay, we have a little control panel area and a main area. Not sure how I feel about that red color, but we will make it better later. Okay. What are we working on? We're working on figuring out whether we could trust Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent. Can we trust him? Okay. So in the control area, I'm going to have tabs, but we don't have tabs yet. So we're going to have buttons. So we're going to have some buttons along the top. And they're going to be a thing. Suppose earlier I meant that the compiler wouldn't include the auto initialize. There is no, yeah, like you don't, if you say don't initialize things, they won't be initialized. Like, it's just not an issue. Like, that was in this programming language literally from the very first demo. This is very early on. Very early on. Okay. So we're going to have some buttons up here that are going to be the different tabs, and I'm not sure what they are. Okay, so one of the buttons is going to be, hey, I'm dragging out all the widgets that are down here, right? Actually, you know what we could do that's, well, no, we'll do it later. Okay, anyway, so there'll be some buttons here, right? Boom, 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 blam. And so one of them is, I want to just drag buttons out to here, right? One of them is probably going to be, well, it'll start as buttons, but it'll have like regular buttons, radio buttons, etc. Now, it's not that simple, because what you actually want to do is you don't want to control individual buttons. So you don't want to drag a button out here and then set foreground, background color, and all these things on it, and then drag another button and like, you want to say, hey, these 8 buttons are the same style, right? So you want to actually define button styles somewhere. And then maybe it's from that page. So maybe it's like buttons, and you click, well, okay, so maybe it's like widgets, right? And then buttons and radio button, whatever. And you click on that and it takes you to the buttons area. Which means we need like a back button or some shit. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Alternately, we could have like one menu, maybe one on the left and one on the right, or like two, I guess 2 on the right, because you want close mouse travel. Maybe it opens up a sub pane and there's like the different buttons, and you pick one or add a new style, right? I don't know. I came to your hometown once, an island in Brazil. I have never been on an island in Brazil. I've been to Florianopolis. I've been to Praia de Rosa, and is that it? Wait, Florianopolis is on an island? Did I forget this? I guess I didn't do any fun island stuff. I'm looking on the map. Brazil. Oh yeah, okay, there it is. I remember now. I remember. Yeah, it's just off the coast. It's like literally you can walk across the bridge. I remember now. This is a long time ago. Dude, we're working on Web 9.0 right now. Okay, so we're going to have one that's like widgets and one that's like gridding maybe. I mean, maybe that can be a small icon list of things in here. Yeah, okay, we can have it be yeah, I kind of like that. We'll try that. Okay, so we're going to say widgets, gridding, inputs, outputs. And most of these buttons aren't going to do anything yet. Okay, so in the control area, we're going to make a whole separate file for the control area because it's time to do that. Boom. I should have made a source folder. It's fine. We'll make it later. Okay, so in the control area, we're going to have the major mode column width, we're going to call it. We're going to say mode column color and control area color, whatever. Okay, mode column is going to be, I don't know, I need a good color picker, man. It doesn't matter. We're going to do it later. It's going to be a little bit like this. All right. Okay. So we're going to go rect control area and rect mode column. All right. And no, saying control area. Let's say contents. I don't know. We'll rename it again later, I'm sure. Rect contents. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Rect contents, not double N. Rect contents. So this is going to be, control area width minus, yes, okay, great. Okay. Rect mode column. Mode column color. Right. And then we do these. Boom. And yeah. Draw control area. Oh, because I don't load it. Gotta load it. Oh, gotta load it in main. It's the better place. Could load it there. Whoops. No, run the thing. Run the thing. There we go. Okay. I don't see that looking any different, which I wanted it to be. Why don't I see it looking any different? Mode column, contents. Oh, because we did, okay, yeah. Control area width times 0.2. Probably too much. Oh, it's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to have like some buttons here, and they're probably going to be like icons, like Photoshop buttons or something. In fact, this is even maybe a little bit big. And then here we're going to have the ting tangler. Okay, so we're going to have I'm just going to put in some calls for some buttons. Mode button font. It's going to be a tiny font because I think we're going to want it to be bitmaps later. So if let's just say if mode button font return. Oh, we actually want to make sure everything is dynamically resizable, by the way. That's like the whole shtick here, is we're getting that right from minute 0. So let's just say update fonts for the just going to do this. And the mode column, rect mode column dot w. Okay. So we're going to say we already have that font, we return. Otherwise, do we have free font? And font size. Okay, now it's going to be width divided by, I don't even know, 10, 12. It's got to be pretty small for current. Wait, loaded font. Oh, man. Let's just make it right now. We'll say release font. Oh, we have a get baseline height. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so font size, mode button font, simp destroy, get font at size, blah, blah, blah. Mode button font size is font size. No, simp dot release font. I don't know what to call it. Update mode column fonts. Oh, and I changed my mind about the name. Okay, so we're not doing anything with these yet. So here we're going to say, okay, button width is mode button width is w rect mode column dot w times 0.9. Mode button width, we're going to say mode button margin is this minus mode button width times 0.5, right? Okay, so, and we're just going to have the same for the top. And then we're going to say, we're going to make a theme that we're going to customize in a bit. We're going to say button are like that. What is this going to be? This is going to be like widgets, right? Layout, inputs. We'll find a lot of things to have buttons for, I am sure, right? So now we want to say R is a rect, R dot X is plus mode button margin, R dot Y equals minus mode button margin all right, R dot W equals mode button width, R dot H equals mode button width. These are square buttons. And we're going to go R dot Y minus equals mode button margin each time. Mido oops H Harvey Dent. Can we trust him? Okay, so we're not hashing the location correctly because these two buttons think they're the same visually. So, but we're also not like, oh, we need to subtract. Duh. Okay. So all these buttons are the same for some reason. So we go here and we're not getting there we go. That is how we do it. There we go. Separate buttons. Separate buttons. Font is way too big because we need to set it to theme.font equals mode button font. Oh my God, that's little. Okay, we could make that bigger. This is like sizing like this is weird because it differs. I don't understand. Like, it's kind of hard to be consistent about these things, but okay. Harvey Dent. Can we trust him? Yeah, I don't know why. This seems like it should be a bigger font, but I guess when you count all the ascenders and descenders, it really does. It is that much. Okay, this is fine for our purposes for now. Okay, we want to know when we press these buttons. Now, of course, later on, in the same way that everyone asks you if your compiler is self-hosted, eventually the UI for this program will be self-hosted. and we'll be able to customize all the colors nicely and all these things. So I'm not even going to worry about it super much right now. We are going to be the ugly ass UI builder until we can be the good UI builder. Okay. So when I say widgets, what I want to be able to do is instantiate a button, right, and drag it over. Okay. Problem. First problem is we don't know if we can trust Harvey Dent, all right? Second problem, we need a data representation for these buttons. So right now we're just, we're just calling button, right? But we want these to be things that we could drag out and move around and stuff, which means they're going to be entities. Entities. So I think we're going to make a little entity system for this. I'm not sure how else to do it. The thing is, that might actually not be the way to go, because in the end, most of the relevant information in your actual target program about these buttons is going to be like on these theme data structures, right? That you know what they are. And so are the entities more than those theme data structures? And actually, yes, because the places where they get all their values from and stuff are yeah. You hear CSS can work. Why would you use CSS for anything? Like, only web people would think that CSS was good at coloring things. Holy crap. Yeah, it's cascading sheets of something. Okay, so I should get my drink out of the freezer before it totally freezes. I wanted to make it cold because I brought it in from the supermarket. Wow, it's kind of flat, actually. Wait. I mean, I hear the bubbles, but I don't taste them. I'm going to put another one in there and hope that it'll be less flat. So we've got these things. Boom, 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 boom. And we want to change what's happening based on this. So we're just going to make an enum widgets layout and inputs, and okay, and then now we will actually change the color as well based on this, right? So we'll just we're just going to change the color around a bit. This is going to be ugly again, but there we go. Now, how do we know when we pressed it? I don't think this thing tells us. So we're just going to return bool for now. Then over here, we're going to say if pressed, whatever. Actually, well, let's just say set. Yeah, we'll say set contents mode, because we might want to do some visual effects there or something. All right. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Well, it certainly is ugly. Let's vary those by less, but you get the idea. That's almost the same fracking color as the other one. It's not good. Yeah, it's literally the same. I don't know. We would pick these more intelligently later. It's fine. It's fine. Harvey Dent, can we trust him? So well, Well, we're basically done. Ship it. All right. So what I want to do is I want to be able to drag I want to be able to drag I want to go to widgets. We're going to have a thing that says buttons, right? And then that's going to go to a bunch of frickin' buttons over here, I guess. In different styles. All right. And you'll have like add new style at the bottom. So that's, I guess, a different content panel mode, but it's like a sub mode that you don't get to from these, right? So here we'll say buttons. Okay. And then if you click on the buttons button, then we do things. Okay. So, so down here we say, draw contents area. And that's going to be rect contents. Okay. Well, we're just going to do a bunch of functions. Widgets, layouts, inputs. Do nothing there, right? We're just going to do this. Very boring. Okay. So for the widgets, we're going to do some stuff. This is just like, I guess we're going to go 2 up, I guess. So we're going to say widget button. What is it? You've got to press the hamburger button. No, I wish Casey were here. He could tell me. Okay. Widget button width, :equals. Let's just say margin total. I'm going to change the order of this. 0.2. We're going to have some spacing there, and this is going to be this minus margin total times a half. Okay, so widget a dot x plus widget a dot w plus center margin, and that's it. Okay, and then we're going to say widget button font oh, you know what? We actually don't need to store the size separately because it's on the fucking thing. Hold on. Hold on. I think it's just character height. Pixel height. Yes, okay. So we're going to do that. Okay, we can probably factor this into a function. This is a little bit too pasta. Except, I don't know, there might be enough different parameters that it's not worth it at some point. Let's see. Okay. This is going to be bigger. I didn't finish, but I forget where I left off. Mode button font dot font size. Oh yeah. Like that. Come on. Okay, so we're going to say the center margin is going to be thinner. So we're going to say side margin, outer margin is margin total times 2 out of 5, right? And then center margin okay. Oh, not time. Right. No. Just that. That would have been bad. Okay. So center margin, outer margin. So widget A. I don't know. Widget A dot X is rect contents dot X plus outer margin. Widget A dot W equals widget button width, widget a dot y equals something we'll figure out. Widget a dot h is widget button height, which we'll define up here just to be like let's just say they're 16 by 10. That's a civilized size. Okay, so that might be a little too short for the things that we're doing. So the y is going to be contents.y plus rect contents.h minus, let's say 2 times outer margin. All right, let's just get that to compile. Great. Still won't do anything because we're not actually, this is the great thing about UI programming is you type all this stuff and then you don't actually do anything. So we'll draw 2 things. They're just both going to say buttons. All right. We're going to say buttons. Let's say vertical margin, which is just for now going to be the same as outer margin. Okay, widget A, widget B. And we're going to go button and then widget B. Mode button height. This is widget. Widget A, dot Y. Buttons, and they don't go in those modes. All right. Okay, great. So we'll probably put labels and then buttons, right? Let's call them like push buttons because there's like radio buttons and all this stuff. Let's start doing them. We need this font to be a little bit smaller than it is. Labels, push buttons, radio buttons, or check buttons. I guess check buttons. What else? I mean, we have lots of stuff in the other thing. I mean, toggle button is going to be these are all going to be like general classes of things. So like check buttons is going to include radio buttons, right? Push buttons. And we're going to have a little flashy picture behind them. These are going to have like high production value eventually. To remind you of what the things are. Check buttons. Text inputs, right? Oh, I typed the wrong thing. Widget A. If only I'd programmed in Rust, the borrow checker would have done that. Okay. These, I mean, maybe these could be too high. I don't know. Like, again, eventually they're going to be like bitmaps or something. Okay, text is still a little too big. That's good enough for now. Okay. So we are not really updating our window size, which we should. That, because I want to be able to resize this and see all this stuff change. So maybe I just never made simp do that. I mean, so it's rendering at the right thing. So I think I don't know. Like it's the, what do you call it? The viewport. How should I best do this? Because I want to make sure the resizability works. Geometry info is the same. No, like right now the window size is not, it's just not up, like OpenGL isn't even really updating, right? And so this is just, I hate this shit because I never remember exactly what's the, like trying to do it cleanly is really annoying because it's like in Windows, the way that you know this happened is you get a window message, which is ass for like, trying to do anything. I suppose we could call like, we could do something in simp that just says like adjust to resize or something, right? That checks the viewport size. I don't want to do this right now. You know what? Screw it. I'm not even going to bother. We'll do it later because it has nothing to do with what I'm working on, which is the actual UI. So you can't resize the window yet. It's fine. Like sometimes that kind of thing just makes me depressed. Like it should be so easy. Like dealing with resolution of your window in Windows. It's called Windows. You would think that drawing things at the right size inside your window would be easy because it's the operating system's all about Windows. No, it's very hard. Very, very hard. Okay. So we've got all this stuff. Labels, push buttons, text inputs. Okay. So each of these is going to take us to a sub area. All right. A sub area. So, so we're going to do this. Going to do this, and we're going to say okay. Cool, cool, cool. So we need to make those. Okay. This maybe isn't the best way to organize it. We'll figure it out. Like, because the thing is, like when I'm setting up a button theme, for example, I'm going to want to be able to say, hey, use this same label theme for the font or whatever, right? And so like I want to be able to have button themes and label themes up at the same time. So I feel like we're going to end up having multiple content panes or something that are up at the same time, like a 2 maybe. Something like that. Anyway. So now when I press all of these, I'll kind of be on another empty screen. Oh no. Okay, let's actually let's just do that. Okay, so we have a widget place mode. Okay. So when you press the okay. So we go back there. Now here, if okay. What are all the different widgets, etc.? Well, we're going to say we're doing push buttons right now. So we're just going to make a little rectangle in there. Not yet implemented. Okay. What a butt pain. Eventually we'll have more helper routines for this kind of thing. So we say not yet implemented, just so people don't get lost in our temporary UI. We say core draw label. So text. Okay, we'll say font. Label. Actually, no. We'll use widget place, widget button font. Okay. Widget place mode, we don't have that. Okay. Dope. Text width. XX. Bam. Presid. Okay, labels. Oh, we didn't like that. What? Draw contents area widget place mode. I guess I haven't tried calling core draw label directly from the outside yet. Well, there's always a first time where you got to run into bugger. We've gone pretty far for not having to debug. Where are we? Examples, UI builder, and main. And we'll start. No, really start. Labels. Boom. Oh, it didn't like that. Text origin. What was font? Yeah, I thought it would have been font. Oh, because we don't set the font on the theme. Okay, this is weird because we're saying... Oh, no, we don't pass font. Okay, that's why I was confused. Yeah, we have to say set theme.font. Yeah. I was silly. All right, labels. Push buttons. So our not yet implemented is not really showing up. And by not really, I mean not at all. We should, text. Coordinates are probably just screwed up. Let's see. Labels. Error. Rect should be Y864 for 216 height. Okay. Core draw label. $182. Oh, the theme's color is probably not set. Yeah, same thing. It's got an alpha of 0. Okay. The problem with having Simp do alpha blending on everything is that when things are 0, nothing shows up on the screen. Okay. Okay. Labels. Not yet implemented. That's what we wanted. Push buttons, check buttons, text inputs. Okay. Great. Okay. Now, I'm going to check to see if my other drink, and now we'll give it some more time. So when we go here, I want to have a bunch of push buttons in different styles, right? So we want to be able to have a bunch of button themes that are just there. But we don't just want like button themes. We want, we want you to be able to edit those themes later and all that. So it's kind of like we want a button theme entity. That you could mess with. And a button entity that says, I use the following theme. So it's kind of time to make the little entity system, I guess. How much of my slideshow project could I reuse for this? It seems like I was working on similar. No, the slideshow doesn't have a UI hardly. Like, this is more advanced than the slideshow program is. In part, the reason I'm doing this is so I can use it on things like the slideshow program. Okay. So top button should really be like the Photoshop hand widget or whatever. Okay. So it's like there's a substantial leap in complexity coming soon. And I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to avoid. I mean, not really. It's just like becoming more of a real program, right? It's not that big of a deal, but I'm like, okay, if I'm going to make the button entities, do I make do I go full entity manager right now? And I guess the answer is not yet, but we probably will soon. Okay, we need three things, actually. We need a button theme. Actually, no. We just need two things. We need a button theme and then an individual like button entity, button instance or something. All right. I'm going to prefix these with entity because I think it's going to, in the Sokoban game, I don't do this, but I feel like this is going to get confusing about what is an entity button theme versus what is a button theme. You know, like it's just a little too, it's a little too meta to not get confused. Right? Okay, so here, we're going to have, like, should I have strongly typed entity IDs? Like, this is weird. Like, I want to say, what is the button theme on here? Like, I want to say something like a button theme ID, right, is an entity ID. But, well, I'll just say theme ID, right? So that you could go in the button and you could change the properties, right? We could say text, label text is a string. And then some kind of, you need some kind of hookup to an output, but we're not going to worry about that yet. You guys are super confused. Okay? Super confused. That said, it's easy to be confused. Look, ImGUI doesn't mean that there can't be long-lived state, as was also said in the chat. But that's not even what this is. This isn't for the ImGUI part of the thing. This is for our project workspace solution file where you control your thing and edit shit. Okay? It's like a different thing. It's like a different thing. All right. But we do, our immediate mode rendering does actually keep state like that. So that's also a thing. All right, so we have button instances, we have button themes. The idea would be that you drag the button theme over and it would make a button instance in the world, right? See, I feel like this should be strongly typed. I don't know. Because like when we edit button themes, the way that you're probably going to edit a button theme is by having prototype buttons for each theme anyway. So like we're going to want the button themes in the world as general entities, right? Okay, so we're going to say that. Okay, so entity ID is a table from no, entity ID is just I don't know, U32 for now. It's fine. So It does not matter whether what we are doing right now is eventually rendered as immediate mode UI or not. I mean, you might care a little bit as the user, but that's not even the point. The point is that you have a graphical UI builder that is fun to use and nice and does what you want. What does the Witness engine or this engine lack to make a game like Battlefield or Tarkov? I mean, they're totally different games. Like, what do you mean? What do you even mean? I mean, if you just type in Escape from Tarkov, then you have it. Okay. You know, I kind of want to do this exactly the way Sokoban does, which means having a meta program and all that. We're not quite going to do that yet. But there are some things that I like very much about it, so we're just going to build it out. So so we make this whole array here, right? This is all going to get replaced with auto generation later. You know what? We're just going to do it exactly the same, dude. Like, what even? How is Babby formed? Okay. And then I don't know how many, any button theme. We'll put this over here. Keep it separate from the actual entities. We will load these files. Into Hittites. They're the neighbors of the Hittites. Okay, so this is just some stuff that I pasted. We definitely don't need light probes or particle sources or animation players right now. Okay, so we're going to need this. All this stuff gets auto-generated later, but we'll just do it for now to get off the ground manually. We're going to need type erased bucket array. So get new entity. We're going to need assign entity ID. It's fine. It'll tell us all the thing we need. Where is type erased bucket array? That's in entities for some reason. I feel like that's not really good. Okay. So this is imports from bucket array. Let's put this up here. So many things we still need to do to get this off the ground. Entity manager. Okay, well, let's do that. Release entity light map. We do not need that. Do not need sound paint data. No, no, no. So we need index of type. We need user ID gameplay. Yeah. All right. Not going to worry about it yet. Index of type. This is another one of these generated things. Let's put the generated things at the bottom. Okay. So it's going to be entity button instance. Entity button theme. So like that. Entity type. Oops. Locator. Really? Locator. What? Oh, that would be an entity manager. Locator, right. We have that. Entity ID, entity type. Let's put the ID there. Scheduled for destruction. It's so many things. Okay. Great. PID is now henceforth called entity ID. Assign entity ID. Okay, this is a thing that actually we don't. Let's just do this. So in the Sokoban game, we do like multi-user editing, so we give everybody a user ID, and we just don't want that here. Oh. Much simpler. Whoops. Well, we did all that typing and it now doesn't do anything new. Because, yay. So, then what? Then what? What did I do all that for? What I did that for is so that we could now have things. So I could say like make. Is that in entities? Yeah. So I could do this. And I can, if I don't want to go do metaprogram yet, I can just, if I add a few more things, I can just stick them in here in the obvious way, right? Make get new entity. Set default mesh doesn't need to be there. We do need register entity. Why is that? I kind of vaguely remember why this is here, but okay. Anyway. We're going to do copy all this. Whoops. So confusing having same names. So we're going to do all this stuff. Unmake, entity manager. We're going to reset. We're not going to do undo. I'm going to have that from the beginning so that we know what to do. We're probably going to want undo later, but it might be pretty different. I don't know. I don't know, man. So we're not even going to do that. We're just going to do that. Okay. ID lookup table we don't have. Where? Why is that? Oh, I'm in the wrong one. Okay. Duh. We're going to have all entities probably. We have entities to clean up. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, we remember this. Okay, we're going to have to delete most of that stuff. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's delete all these things. This is all custom. Custom. All right. Runtime only flags. Oh my God, that's so slow. Are you kidding me? All right, well, that's going to show up when we profile Sokoban. Not going to worry about it for now. Okay, reset entity manager. That's got a lot of stuff that we're not going to need. And audio region, buffered moves, wrapping, proximity grid, post frame cleanup we definitely want. Entities clean up. Active hero is sprinting. Mount tracker, undo, we're going to want. Okay. Great. Post frame cleanup, we're going to want. That really doesn't do jack right there. Fuck off. Bet you didn't realize it was going to be a copy pasta stream. Oh, that's one of the generated, right? No? There we go. Okay. All of that for no visual difference on the screen. Okay, however, let's start doing some things. We're going to, at startup, go the entity manager. All right. We're going to put that in the context so that we have it anytime we want it. Okay, now we're just going to make some buttons. So we're going to go init default stuff. Content stuff. What is that going to be about? That is going to be about the following. Okay, so when we have button themes, whoops. When we have button themes, we're going to have a name for the theme, right? Okay, so we're going to go alpha Bravo Okay, we're going to make these themes and register entity, I think. Can clear them out, can go away. So get new entity makes it, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Whoops. Make wants to take the manager. You know, since it's in the context, like all of this, we could think about that. Theme. Name, what? Why did I do that? That's a string, bro. Okay, still no change on the screen. That's the amazing of programming. Okay, but Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie are now button themes. Okay, these are button themes. Okay, what does that mean? Well, it means we could start doing things like no, that's the wrong one. Yeah. So a button theme, for example, has all these properties. And we could say alignment is right. Okay. We could be like, I mean, these buttons are not really nicely animated like the rest of our widgets right now, but, you know. You're going to be learning microservices. There's nothing to learn. Microservices are services, which are servers where you send them a message and they send you a message back. Congratulations. But they are micro. Yes, microservices are services programmed by Microsoft. That is true. Okay, I'm going to take a very short brain pause before we plow ahead. Because this is going to be a little bit weird how this is going to work. Are there any questions about what I've been doing, like on topic specific questions about what has been happening here? Any questions? Nobody has questions? No, the way that this UI thing is going to work generally is that you sort of determine what this button theme is, and that includes what the font size is, right? So, and that also includes the size. Well, okay. So the size of the button typically, because you want the button code to be usable by anyone, apart from, like, there's two places it could be called from. One is just your code decides to call and draw a button. Another one is, okay, maybe you use this UI builder, right? And so we don't put the size in the theme. I mean, the size might change every frame and all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. My brain doesn't want to explain right now, but in general, your program might adjust the button size every frame, but you don't want the font to really be changing size because you might be changing the width. I don't know, right? That said, the layout that you do in this layout program probably controls button size, right? I mean, we have yet to work out how that's going to go, but we'll see. Is the plan of the final product that there's a way to throttle the update loop? Yeah, I don't care about that right now, but like in the long term, like I said a while back, it doesn't matter whether these are rendered ImGUI or not, okay? You can render these with dirty rectangles, whatever. It just requires someone to write that implementation. We don't give a shit about whether something is ImGUI right now exactly. It's just not, like, people get very concerned sometimes about things that like don't matter. Like what you're going to have from this UI builder is like a project file that specifies all the themes and what the colors are and what the fonts are. And it doesn't matter how those get rendered. Like, it simply doesn't, right? You just link the code and you use the code. Like, it doesn't matter what back-end rendering API. It doesn't, you know, that's the point. Like, back when computers were good, we knew these things didn't really matter that much. No, you know what? Actually, that was never true. I take it back. But yeah, so on the other hand, so there's different use cases, right? So sometimes you might want a very flashy UI with very subtle animations every frame and whatever, and sometimes you wouldn't. And so, yeah, if you wanted to only update it on dirty and stuff, like I believe this will support that. I don't know how long it'll take, though. I don't know how long it'll take. Okay, so did I mess something up? Alignment? Oh. Screwed that up. Sorry if I seem grumpy about questions sometimes. It's how I am. Oh, whoops, that's not. I'm a silly person. Okay. So okay. So that's just some different button themes. And so what I want to do then, when you say layout, no, when you say widgets and we say push buttons, now I want to write some text that says button themes or something, and then colon, and then and then go over all of them. All right. And as part of this entity manager thing that we already did, we ought to be able to do all this stuff. Like we ought to be able to just iterate these, right? So this is actually data driven already. So we should be able to iterate these, and then we're not going to worry about it for a while, but eventually you'll be able to hit new and like copy them or something, right? Or like, I don't know. We're going to have to figure out how you edit the themes and stuff. Okay. This is going to be released with the language. Yeah, we're going to give this out to people. Yeah, so like this, yeah. Like it's, okay. It is confusing. This says simp because we started with the simp demo program. We're using simp in the background. We are rendering these with immediate mode GUI right now, and the initial version of this will be mostly immediate mode GUI, but I will say that as I do stuff in the Sokoban game, like I kind of don't really care if something's immediate mode or not, I guess is what I'm saying from an application programming perspective. What I care about is if it's easy and convenient, right? And so if the interface to this can be easy and convenient, it really doesn't matter. Now, easy and convenient kind of means immediate mode in certain ways, I guess. But like we've said, immediate mode doesn't mean rendering every pixel every frame. It doesn't mean you can't have animations and stuff, right? So there's two extensions to simp that I want to do. One of them is simp 3D, right? So you can do simple 3D stuff. One of them is simp UI, right? Which is these buttons and all this stuff, right? So we only have a button, but we're going to take everything that's in the Sokoban editor. The problem with the stuff in the Sokoban editor is it's kind of hard-coded for that game. So we're going to take all that stuff and pull it out like we did with this button today, but we're going to make this button nicer. And we're going to make that be simp UI, and then this program will generate code that imports simp UI and that you can run as a standalone program or whatever, right? So these are different pieces that interface. But right now they're all kind of one, like this simp UI and this client program that we're working on are all one thing because there's no reason to break them apart yet because you can't generate the code. Okay, so when we go to push buttons, now my job is to I guess I want a header font. Let's factor this to right. And then we're gonna, what did I call this again? Header font. Header font, height divided by 25. Oh, when column height. Okay. Column height and button width. Okay, and then update font. And desired is a float. Okay, and if not font or these are not the same. Okay, so we're going to use the same name for all these for now, but we will want to divide it out later. Oh. Yes, sorry. Okay, still no visual. Okay. What happens now? Well, we have a header font, and so when we Why did I just get something ordered off of Amazon? Did somebody just credit card fraud me? Bro. Let's see. What is going on, bro? Nope, that stuff I ordered, they just didn't charge me until right now for some reason. Even though I ordered it days ago. All right, great. What's the benefit of generating code as opposed to a binary? Because you can edit the code, and you can compile the code however you want. And you don't have to load binary data and generate a UI based on that. Like, the idea is the code that's generated should be nice enough that if you wanted to, you could go hand edit it and it would be fine. But we also want to keep it kind of hygienic so that you could pass parameters in and all that and you don't have to hand edit, right? All right, so when I click on push buttons, I want to see like available available buttons. All right. So when we are in push buttons, so we're going to want better ways to draw labels. Which we will have, like, once we actually make labels be one of the things, it'll be fine, right? Text is available button themes. Right, and then text width. Let's actually do this. I mean, we're probably going to make different things there. Okay, so available button themes, we get the width, we go core draw label with a bunch of garbage that we don't care about. We need a position. Header rect. No, not e-hater. It's like Bill Hader when he's too much on the internet. Okay. Yeah, we'll just do that for now. We don't care. Push buttons. Whoa! Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a biggie. It's a biggie. Boom. Boom. And then we're going to go down from there. So available button themes. And then okay, well, let's just say vertical spacing okay, so then what? Vertical spacing, and we're going to want to draw some buttons. We're going to go for manager dot by type dot button entity button theme. All right, let's make sure that compiles. Oh, manager. Let's just make sure that runs. Push buttons, available button themes. Ah, so good. Okay, what are the available button themes? I hear you ask. Well, okay. And then r.y minus equals button height plus button spacing. I don't know. What's button height? Button height is button width times, let's do the 16 by 10ers again. 10, 16, right? And button width is rect contents.w times 0.9. Okay, button x0 is rect contents.x plus contents.w minus button width times 0.5. Okay. So r is a rect, r.x is button x0, r.y equals y, r.w equals button width, r.height, h equals button height. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, push buttons. Oh, we barfed. Let's run our debugger. Push buttons. Okay. Glyph conversion failed. Oh, our font. We didn't set our font. I guess our themes, none of our button themes set their fonts probably. This is a common issue. Yeah. So this theme has no font. Okay. It also, wow. Okay. You know what? We forgot to do something. Alpha Oops. Look at these terrible copy pastas. Okay. So now what? It starts to look like that Pac-Man code. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff is going to go away. We're literally just doing this to initial. We want some set of themes to make the rest of the program work, right? Like, we're not trying to be nice or good or anything here. Okay, so the question is default panel themes set up? It's after UI init. Yeah, okay. There we go. Alpha, alpha, bravo, bravo. Why am I drawing them twice? But look, they're different button styles, everybody. Did I do it twice? Is my for loop messed up? Oh, we're adding them. Make probably registers the entity, and I forgot that. So, like I bet that's the problem. Well, I don't totally bet, but yep, Alpha Bravo chart. Okay, great. Great. We finally have visible results. This is how programming is sometimes, is you just keep going. Boom, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Okay. We're going to edit the colors of these a little bit more so that they're more different, right? But then the idea is going to be that I click on one of these and it's like puts me in button placing mode, you know, and I put a button over here. Now these buttons are freaking giant. Like, we could probably do them 2 up or something. I don't even know. Let's make them smaller for now. Themes or entities too. Yeah, because you want to define new themes and then just say particular buttons are tied to that theme, right? Is there info on how a data-oriented UI is designed? I don't know what data-oriented UI means. I do not know. Okay, so Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, etc. Available button themes. Don't need that. UI code is just full of all this kind of stuff, like just computing numbers all the time, right? Yeah. Okay, button width is a lot smaller. Let's make them thinner and sleeker. Okay, push buttons. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Okay, these are like not. We're going to want to pull in another font too, just to like show off. So we'll have one of these be This is a little confusing. I think what I would like to do, I mean, you're going to want options on the button that are like does the font size scale with the button? Like, I think a lot of the times I just want the font size to be scaled with the button height, and then all my buttons are usually the same height or whatever. But you could imagine sometimes you want different button heights with the same font size, right? So yeah. Everything is data oriented. I mean, try to get your computer to do anything without using data. Right? Right. Okay. So init default content stuff. Okay, we're going to add, well, no, we're not. Like, I'm not sure how I want to do this. Not sure how I want to do this. Time for sun chips. I am out of sun chips currently. This is a sun chip free zone. I will get some water though. Maybe it's time for Bengal spice. Maybe it's time for a brain banana. You eat a brain banana and you have more brain. We've streamed for like 8 hours today already. Most of it working on this project. A little bit of that 8 hours was me eating a brain banana. Did I get my second drink out of the freezer? Yes, I did, but thank you for the reminder. Okay. I'm just thinking, what do I do for now? because it's weird. Okay, so there's two things I could do. One, I could say, here's the name of the font, and here's the size relative of the font relative to the thing. Okay, however, two, we have this thing called label theme, right? Hold on. Right? And so a button theme, you would think you kind of want to be able to draw buttons like labels and have them be very similar. So like maybe the button theme just has a label theme, because maybe the label theme is like, maybe you say what the rectangle is for the label, but that label theme, maybe it has a background color. Maybe it's got, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, the PUBG days, those were the days, man. I just can't watch Valorant. It's too boring. It's a boring ass game. Boring ass game. All right. Let's just go for font name and text color. We're just gonna say it's based on vertical right now, right? And we can add more options later. Okay, so that's Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. We'll add another font later. Did I ever add? Yeah. Okay. Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie styles are there. Now what? Yeah, I don't know why Valorant is so popular on Twitch. I mean, I guess people just don't have anything else to play, right? Like PUBG is very low quality, and they haven't ever fixed that. Fortnite, I guess, is real old. Well, Fortnite is kind of, I don't know. I'm sure it's very popular among certain demographics. Tarkov is way too grindy and not fun, and they don't manage to make progress on it very rapidly. Yeah, I don't know. Have I played Hunt? No, I have not played Hunt Showdown. Barrett Cole. That's not right. I'm starting to get a little loopy, everybody, but So I feel like we have less than an hour left. Maybe I'll get a second wind. Okay, so I don't like this thing that I'm doing right here. Okay, never mind that I'm copy pasta erroring the alpha, bravo, etc. We could fix this in a minute. Really what I should do, I'm just going to do this right now. Just get rid of the copy pasta errors once and for all. Actually, let's just do this. Really get rid of them. In fact, we could get rid of the. Okay, you want to see some shit here? There we go. That's a little scary, but font name, undeclared identifier. Oh, because we haven't added those. Okay, but much more readable. I'll copy string these. The question is, do I really want to do the font name this way? Oh, I forgot. Forgot my usings here. Okay. So we don't have a font name on button theme. Okay. I'm feeling trepidation about this choice. Why? Why, Black Dynamite? Oh, okay. So, Why isn't font name in the button theme? Because I'm trying to decide if that's how I want to do it. Another way to do it would say, well, there's a label theme. And you use that. I mean, it doesn't really matter for now. The thing is, when I imagine what I'm going to do next when I write this code, right? It's going to be like every frame, my entities are going to say, hey, did our display size change or whatever? Pick the font of the right size of this text vertical ratio for this font name, right? But like, maybe that's fine. Maybe that's honestly fine. And maybe you have the option of doing that or selecting a label theme. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to do it this way. And if this is stupid, we'll do it a different way, because why not? All right, so button theme. See, this is weird because, yeah, I don't know. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. Okay. Now, we each frame are going to update the button themes. I don't know. Or no, I guess we would need to make a function that's like, okay, let's see. When we do this, update font for button height. We'll figure out something smarter to do for this later. And it's going to be font name. Okay. So we're going to do this. That doesn't even work. Let's... So we're going to update the font for the button height. See, the thing is we want to maintain that if it's null. Like, okay. Okay. Update font, pointer, name, height. Like, it's that easy. Okay, so the reason why this doesn't quite work is because we're actually setting these to non-null. Okay. I don't know if get font at size ever fails. We'll see. So we're just going to do this, that, and that. Button height is... Hit.theme.font. Theme alpha. Not. Oh, we don't even need to. Yeah, these don't have globals. This is not the Pac-Man program. All right, whoops. Push buttons. Okay, yeah, they're very special. Charlie is gonna need to come way down. I'm gonna need you to come down a bit, Charlie. Charlie, bite your finger. Okay, there we go. Alpha could be a little smaller just so that we could tell it's left justified as well. Boom. Okay. Boo 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 boop 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 boop. Okay, great. Okay, now I also want to data drive this. So like this is our scene out here. First of all, I want to make it not say simp anymore. I mean, that's fun. But, you know. All right, so now we've got these. So in the same way that we data drove our themes that exist, we now want our buttons. And that way we could make more buttons. Etc. We're going to want to be able to click and drag them, which I don't know. We're going to want we're going to want an interactive mode that's just like you could type and pretend that this whole thing is what it is, right? And then we're going to want like a select edit mode or something that lets you like drag things around, which if you're clicking on the button, you can't, well, you could, but, or like change the text on the button or whatever, right? Displacing button text. Yeah, I don't care. We're not really polishing the buttons right now. Buttons are very unpolished relative to the other widgets that we already have programmed in the Sokoban game. So we're going to move all that stuff over here and we'll polish the buttons at that point. But I want to start getting like actual editing up here because I want to figure out how the program works. Like, I know how buttons work. I know how checkboxes work. Like that part's fine. It's like, okay, it's the year 2021. I want to make a good UI editor. What is that going to look like? And we're going to find out. Okay, so what do I do? 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 Okay, so like I was saying, we want to data drive this. So instead of making a bunch of buttons in ass space, instead of calling the button function, guys, my brain is really not happening right now. Okay, so we're going to comment this out completely. There's nothing here. All right. Here, what we're going to do is say for manager.byType.entity button instance, which there are none of yet. We need to find We're going to set this theme to default, but we will try to find... Actually, let's not even worry about that yet. Later, we're going to want to look up the theme ID on the button instance and trace that to the theme and use that data to draw the button. Yeah. Why is UI stuff always hard? This isn't that hard. This is way easier to program than what I usually do, guys. So we're gonna go over all our buttons, and we're just gonna go. The text is gonna be label text, right? All right, this is still not going to do anything. Oh, R, right. So we need a rect for this. And I guess we'll just say the dimensions are hard-coded right now. We will want to change that eventually. But there we go. Okay. We have no buttons still, but we're going to make buttons. So using B is make manager entity button instance. We're actually are going to assign alpha, beta, Bravo, Charlie. Sorry. Not Charlene. Not Charlene. So the reason we're going to just give names to these is so we can use them later on to make our other dummy values. Right. So b.themeID is, let's just say it's alpha.entityID, b.label text equals hello sailor. Okay. Oh, we didn't set the dimensions or anything. B.position. This is just total garbage code right here. Hey, look at that. Boom, ba boom, boom. Boom, ba boom, boom. That is alpha style. And let's make 3 buttons. Now we're not going to actually be using these theme IDs yet, right? It's Bravo, not Beta, bro. There we go. Okay, so you will note that we are using the same theme. Oh, we forgot that part. We forgot that part. Let's actually... Okay, we could delete this. Okay, now they're separate buttons. It's all good. Okay, we got to get the theme now. We want the themes. So when we do the draw loop, we're going to say entity theme is find. Do we have... We do not. Very easy. Entity theme is find manager and it.theme ID. Let's get this as well. And theme equals et.theme. So if we find it, oh, it's not PID. It's not PID. Oh boy, I broke something. What did I do? It's the font is null again. Damn it, bro. If there's nothing we never learned. I mean, we might want to log an error in cases like that, but... All right, well, we still die later. So this theme has a null font, has a bunch of colors. Oh, you know, because we didn't do our function, by the way. We did not do our function. which was conjunction function. What's your gumption? Where was it? Oh, it was in content area. What was it called? For button height. We need to do this. There is a file scoped. Font name is not in button theme. Font name. Oh. ET phone home. Hey, look at that. What kind of quality is that we are looking at now? Okay, that might be where I leave it off tonight. This is pretty good. So the next step would be like, I feel so the next step would be letting you place buttons. Letting you move and edit buttons, I guess. That's going to be the pain in the butt. Like how do we decide? Like if I want to go to this button and say, I want to change this text, right? What do we do? How do we do that? Or like, I want to change the width of the button, right? Obviously, I want to drag that in some way. How do I do that? Next step is hiring a designer. Excuse me, I'm a designer. In my line of business, we don't call someone who decides what color a button is a designer. That's like not even a job. There's no need for the buttons to be active in the design area. It's quite possible that that is true. It seems likely that that is true. I'm just not sure because like part of what you're going to style is like how they react to the cursor. But there'll be like a run mode where you click down here, right, and it makes it interactive version. So maybe that's enough. It's just, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Does the display resolution affect eye fatigue? I don't know. I feel like it helps not staring at blurry text all day. Like I definitely got lots of eye fatigue back in the days of CRT monitors that were like 800 by 600 and very flickery. But I don't really have that problem today. It's much better. UI designers in Silicon Valley are becoming. I know it's sad though because they don't hardly do anything. Like website UI designers do like the least amount of work for the most amount of money of anyone in the universe, just about. It's nuts. Especially if they work at Twitter. What's the most creative website I've found? Zombo.com. Anything is possible at Zombo.com. The only limit is your imagination. Anyway, so that's what I think it's now time to just chill and think about for a bit. How do I want editing to go? Because that's like the next step. The next step is like, hey, change the text on the button. Change the size of the button. Change the button theme. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Never going to finish your game. I mean, you do need to be like, games are a lot of work. And you do need to be able to sit down and do solid work in order to make a game, or stand up at your standing desk and do solid work. Yeah, if you can't do that, you really aren't ever going to finish a game. And I'm not saying that to be discouraging. I'm saying it to be the opposite. Like, making games is really interesting. Okay. I like it a lot, but like, I wouldn't be able to do it. I would never have released any games if I couldn't like knuckle down and make things happen. Right? Tip on knuckling down. You just got to do it. You got to learn to enjoy getting things done. Learn to enjoy getting things done. Yeah, like I don't really know. So for example, of things like for things like resizing something, you probably do want to just drag. You want to maybe have some grid here and drag. But the thing is, you kind of want resizing to be procedural in some way, right? So you want to like drag to some line, but maybe somebody controls the line. But like for text, like, do I want to type the text here? Or do I want, like you could imagine like, oh, I'm editing a button and we zoom way in on that button. That might be cool, is to just like bring the camera in really close. And that way you have better dragging ability and better editing and stuff. That might be the thing to do next, is instead of worrying about editing quite, just moving around like in world space. Like just dragging the canvas around and stuff. Anyway, okay, that's going to be it for the stream tonight. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to do some thinking about how this goes. And then I think I want to get up tomorrow morning and start cranking on this again without wasting as much time tomorrow morning as I did today. But we'll see. Like if I feel too wiped, I might give it a pause. But yeah, like this is, okay, so this is the weird thing, right? Is like we want to be able to edit buttons, but we also want to be able to edit themes, right? So if I click like add new theme down here, do we have a different workspace that's like the button theme workspace? And it's just got, like, I don't know, right? I don't know what that looks like. So, yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you later on.